Hi, Rhonda. It's so nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited, and it's isn't it wonderful that we can meet across
I
continents like
tell
we
you.
are?
I tell you.
It's
Yeah,
wonderful. I mean,
it's
days like
wonderful.
this.
Technology, I tell you. And thank you for, being on the show. And you see, oftentimes it has even become an anthem, all right? I say this always because I feel like it is important for me to say it. I thank my guest for two things. Firstly, Rhonda, I want to thank you for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you invested in yourself. And oftentimes, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, some months back, Rhonda, I was on a particular road, and by the roadside, there was this tall mango tree. Not attractive at all. I didn't find it attractive, and it didn't catch my attention at all. Why? Because it's got no mangoes on it, and it looks all dry and not attractive at all. So I just walked past it. I went my way. But you see, Rhonda, just recently I was on that same road, and this time around, something changed. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and I got the urge to, move closer and have a good look. Then when I moved closer, Rhonda, I was wowed. Because this time around, the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, and it looks so beautiful and attractive. And not just mangoes, but ripe mangoes. It caught my attention pretty good. The point is the fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing person you are today. That alone has made it impossible for me to say nope. You see, while I was going through your profile and reading a little bit about you, I was excited about the things I saw. So thank you, Rhonda, for investing in yourself. And secondly, thank you for being on the show. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rhonda.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful story because what came to mind was, as you were saying, it is from every loss
Mm,
chance to bloom.
mm, mm.
And as you're talking about the seasons and a tree that has no blooms, that ability for it to lose the first agricultural crop and then develop into the second season that brought joy to you. That's what we all experience
That's
every
right.
single time we a bump in the road. We have something that we can be thankful for as we shed all the fruit that we have from the first season and go to the second season. We could have a beginning and a second chance, and that's why I love that story you gave, because as you're becoming thankful for your guests, you're also helping the people listening. So everybody out there, come closer and listen, because that helps you embrace how you fail and how it can bring seasons of fruit. Wonderful story. I love
That's
that
right. Thank
book.
you. Thank you so much. And that was a great explanation. And I love your perspective. That was a great one. So let's begin, Rhonda. You see, I am quite excited to have you on the show for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking, because I believe in order for one to move from a terrible situation to a beautiful one, Rhonda, I believe it takes the application of knowledge. Not just knowledge, but the application of it. And you see, Rhonda, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge
Mhm.
seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very, very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Rhonda on the show is for the sake of the listeners. Rhonda, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got a lot of information flying out there. How to do this and how to do that, how to become this and how to become that. So those folks trust me for quality information. And I am totally convinced that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, Rhonda, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or professional journey. We're just so curious right now. We want to know how you got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Rhonda,
No,
over to you.
I think we lost your mic.
Okay, yeah, I said over to you now. You on the stage now.
Uh, Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with everybody. First of all, I want to say, nobody, you brought so many powerful thoughts in. Nobody starts their journey just knowing everything. I think you brought out a valid point about being a life learner. When I was young, and I was in school, in elementary school, and I just started. The teachers identified me as having issues. I was literally a baby. I was in the kindergarten, and they're like, she can't move forward. She may never, she's not mature enough. She's not smart enough. She's just not going to make it. So they held me back. So many of us in our lives, we feel like are going to be held back, and maybe we'll never be successful, and we'll never get to where we think we want to. But that struggle continued my entire life until I accepted not only my faith, but also who I was intended to be and what my purpose was supposed to be. Just like your tree having to bring forth fruit, that was the purpose of the tree. For me, it was to help people heal, help people move forward, help people redefine themselves through richness. And I learned that by embracing my own failures, learning continually, that I can bring and rise others up out of their own depressions and through their losses. I did that by becoming a life learning learner. A life learner is someone that's continually seeking that extra knowledge. So, yes, I struggled, but then I got to my junior, senior years. I still graduated. I went to my first years of college. I got my bachelor's, my master's, my doctorate. But all of it showed that success is when you meet your own soul and purpose. And I think that when people really think about who they're supposed to be and really apply it, they begin radiating. You can't help but be attracted to them because they're aligned with the purpose. It's no different than Jonah and the whale. He fought what God wanted him to do. He went the opposite direction and ran. And what ended up? A fish ate him up, spit him out where he was supposed to be. That's how we are every single day. For me, it doesn't come natural just to follow my purpose. I want to play what they call in the United States the game of uncle. You put each other's hands together and you twist them until someone says uncle, and then you let go because it's too painful. That's how I've treated life many a times in my life. I waited till it was too painful to make the changes. And so many of the listeners are out there right now struggling. Maybe they have a fearless story or a loss that they've done. They're going through the holiday season and they're missing somebody, or maybe they feel alone and isolated. Everybody feels that way when they're not aligned with their purpose. We have losses. I've lost a son. I've lost my mother, my father. We've all have losses. That's part of that season of life. But at the same time, some are life hit moments. Some are personal choice moments that we made the wrong choice and we went the wrong direction. And sometimes that's just life. But what we can do is we can live beyond those experiences and have expectations of growth, just like your tree.
Amazing and powerful words from Rhonda. You see, man, I feel really blessed right now because you made use of some of my favorite words, but I'm just going to pick one: purpose. And you define success as though you've read my article because, oh man, it's amazing. You see, when I come across folks who have more like same mind with me, I feel really blessed. Oh man, Rhonda, you're doing good. You said success is when you meet with your purpose, and that's just it. And that's so correct. You see, folks who say, I'm successful because I've got lots of money in my account. I've got a lot of luxuries and I live a luxury life and all of these stuff. I say that ain't the definition of success. And what you just said now is the true definition of success. When you are functioning for the reason why you were born. You know, I was talking to my wife today. I said, the moment the standing fan start to function like, or desire to function like an air condition, I said, then that fan is beginning to become unsuccessful. But the more the standing fan keeps being a standing fan and keeps wanting to become to be a standing fan, the more success it continues or continually becomes, or successful it continually becomes. In other words, when you function in the purpose for which you were born, you are succeeding already. Because we were talking about how the year has been, and if we've been doing things that the Lord wants us to do, then I explained the definition, and you just said the same thing. When you meet with your purpose, you're succeeding, and that's amazing. So that's going to lead to the very first question. We have just few questions. So what inspired you to write Crossroads, and how does its story connect to your own life experiences?
So, Crossroads, I'll even show it to everybody. I brought it with me. Crossroads is a fiction novel. Now, you're going to wonder, why do you think a fiction novel would have anything to do with my purpose? Well, I told you I struggled academically at first. So my purpose was to prove I could do it first. But then as I started writing, it started developing characters that I realized it was about the life balance of people. It's a crime novel based out of Indianapolis. And you're going to say, what does that have to do with life balance? Every one of the characters, I had made them out of balance with their purpose. So the main character, Paris Pennington, she was out of balance because she was dedicated to her work. She was a workaholic. Dave, the prosecutor, he was dedicated to law and order and the government. The co-defendant, Billy Knuckles, he was dedicated to his friend, and he had to decide whether he was going to turn state on him or take the charge with him and go to prison for the rest of his life. So he was falsely dedicated to another human. Then you had the mother that was dedicated to her kids. You have all of these people that are dedicated to all the wrong things. And you put them in the room where they have to make a life-changing decision on another person's humanity and dignity and freedom. So you have them there. And then you have people that become imbalanced mentally. They might be envious of each other. They might have anger. They might have fury. So you have one crime that ends up being more than one crime because people are together in this. It's like a game of Clue where you have to follow the clues to find out why are these things happening to the characters. Who's the one doing it? What is the reason they're doing it? And what I found from the journey of writing Crossroads is I found me because I was successful. I was in academia, working as a college professor and running a college campus. I had my consulting firm consulting for different people. But what I found is I could make an impact in people through entertaining them with words that made powerful statements. Like, I'll give you one. 3 of the possible motives are anger, fury, and envy. And in Proverbs, one of the most philosophical books in any religion, because it's in most religions, right, is used, is anger is cruel. And think about it. It is when someone gets angry at you or you're angry at someone else, it's cruel. You become spiteful and you spew nastiness from your mouth. You may even hit them with your own fist, right? So anger is cruel. Fury is overwhelming. So when you go up a notch from anger to fury, it's overwhelming. You're body changes, your attitude changes. You no longer see things as they really are. You lose perspective. But who can stand before jealousy? Envy makes the bones rot. So those are the three things, emotions, just in one paragraph that I explore in Crossroads, because it's the alignment of your emotions in a negative way that can impact you for the rest of your life. Anger, fury, and envy. And all three of them, if you don't know who you are, will take over and destroy you. And you know what they say at the end of Proverbs? It's like a cancer that metastasizes. So all three of those emotions, and if you're not aligned with your total purpose, your alignment, you can't break free. You're living a lie then. You're not being true to what your body is desiring, your soul is desiring to be. So I knew for me, it was a story not only about the criminal justice system in the United States being fair and unequal. It wasn't just about the people being out of balance and that you need to be aligned with your purpose. It wasn't just about the emotions that can cause a crime. It was about pursuing and empowering the lives of those readers to go through the entertainment of a book and start thinking, wait a minute, let's change something, which brings the second book. It's a workbook. It's called The Journey to Life Balance. Let's work through these things. Let's talk about these things. Let's make sure success meets our soul, which means we're going through all 13 connections that we should have with self, which is not only just your physical health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your social and relationship health, your financial health, your career, your kids, all of the main rooted, I just lost the word. Isn't that wonderful? All those main rooted dimensions of your body that you need to thrive and be happy. And that includes the things you like to do. Like, do you like to travel? Do you like to do puzzles? Do you like watching TV, going to movies? All of that you should already know yourself. Once you know what you enjoy and you know what your family enjoys and you know how to get there, you're aligning everybody together to be a unit and a community.
So true. And I got that. That's a great one. Okay, Yoranda, to bring this to an end, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those folks who like to reach out to you, get your book, or even ask questions, how can that be possible?
Well, first of all, I would want everybody out there to close their eyes and say, if everything was perfect tomorrow, what would it look like? And then align yourself. And I'm not talking about the materialistic. I'm talking about you aligning to who you are that makes you happy. Then secondly, if they want to reach out to me, RhondaParkerTaylor.com is where my website is. All my social media is on there. I would love to hear from you. Holler out and pick up one of the books, come say hi, and let's engage with each other on social media. And I'm on all the major platforms.
Platforms, got it. So that's gonna be the end of the show, Rhonda. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing this amazing stuff with us. It means a whole lot. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day, everybody.